Okay, can everybody hear me? Fine, yeah, perfect. All right, so this will take about 65 to 70 minutes. And just saying the energies are extremely strong today. I've noticed that already, so this might be a stronger session. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, enjoy. Okay, let's start with opening up the energy field. Gonna bring in light. Gonna expand the energy field. Expanding the energy field helps to hold more light in the system, and light is information, right? So light is higher information. So we can hold higher information in our system that's transforming our system. And also more awareness comes with that as well. Expanding. Then I fill up the expanded space with light. Clear the pineal gland. The pineal gland sits in the middle of the head, and it's often blocked. So I clear it from blockages and calcification. And if it's already open, that's perfect. And then I activate it, and it can always be more activated. So, or more more expansion can happen for it as well. So activation and then expansion. So it also has a capacity of like a never-ending opening. So now I'm activating it. Then open up the central energy channel. The central energy channel is located in the center of your energy field. And also in the center of your body. It goes from the root to the crown chakra. And this is where life energy flows through the system. So life energy is basically life itself. And it just flows through the system. And by flowing through it, we have the experience of life. So life unfolds actually in our systems, not on the outside. It's just reflected on the outside. So emotions, senses, and all of that get triggered by life energy flowing through our system, and then we have an internal experience. Reflected on the outside. Okay. It's always very important to understand that the past and the future that we experience, so the experience of it is real, but it doesn't actually exist. It's just a mechanism of the system. And by doing this kind of work, this mechanism starts to break down. So what happens then, we experience being more in the present moment, and life is unfolding more in just a flow. So everything is just unfolding in the present moment. So it doesn't mean that we can't plan or we can't have, of course, plans for the future, have certain aims, want to go in a certain direction and all of that. That's totally normal. That's part of the human experience. But it's really all about going into the direction you feel like you want to go, doing the things that are coming up to do while you're walking, but not having a persistence of the outcome. So not hanging on that it has to be a certain outcome. That's very important. And this is also then what helps to let go of this mechanism that we project as future, or that we experience as future, because always when we tap into the mechanism of there is a future, we are reinforcing that. I mean, of course, it's hard not to do because we're used to that, but just to make awareness around this kind of work, what we're doing here helps us to break that mechanism down anyways. So living life normally, surrendering to everything that's unfolding in the present moment, but then at the same time, walking, doing, and whatever is the outcome of it is the outcome of it. So not caring about that so much, or not at all if possible. That's the aim here. Then I accelerate the life energy. That more life energy can flow. So the goal is to have more and more life energy flowing. Then I help it to flow more through the system. So again, it flows from the root to the crown chakra, and then falls back down, left, right, in all directions, in half circles, flows up again, and so on. So it's a constant flow. And we just want to increase the flow, increase the flow, increase the flow. And then when I talk about the manifestation, this is then the manifestation in our life experience when life unfolds like that as well. So it always has to be worked on first in the energy field, and then reflects in our consciousness. And this is where life experience is happening for our systems. So the energy that's coming in at the moment is so strong. It really helps us to draw our attention more inward. So I let this happen for a minute or two. So the energy really draws everything inward into your system. So if you feel like you're still holding on to certain things on the outside, so no noises, or maybe you're sitting uncomfortably, or there is tension in the body somewhere still, you can just let this go now. Let this energy pull you in, pull you in, pull you in, more inwards, more inwards, more inwards. What's going to happen eventually is, so first the attention, the main attention of our life experiences on the outside. So we need to sit down and really focus on the inside. When we put our attention on the inside, so we have to actively do it. But then there is a time when this kind of changes permanently. So the attention is always on the inside. So always on the life energy. It's never on the outside again, ever. This totally flips around and stays like that. It can just be a gradual unfolding until it locks, or it can be just like a thing that happens from, let's say, 1 minute to the next. Then the attention is only inward. Everything what we perceive is only inward, and the outside is just also there. But it's not really relevant to that extent. And this is what this energy is doing at the moment. It's drawing you inward. It's drawing you inward. Okay, so I'm gonna stop speaking for 1 or 2 minutes. That's minutes that the energy can just do its work. So basically what the energy wants to show you is, or what the aim of it is, that everything is happening inside. Problems can never be fixed on the outside. Changes always have to be done on the inside. So it's never an outside thing, ever, ever. Of course, we move objects on outside and do stuff. But this has nothing to do with what energy means at the moment. what's the best way to describe it? All right, only the inside is where you can work on, where you can do work, where growth is happening, where we perceive the emotions. It's also everything is just inside. And this basically gives a big comfort. This just gives a big comfort to the system, because the system knows it doesn't matter what's happening on the outside, what the circumstances are. It's all about how do they make me feel on the inside. And depending on if I prefer them or not, or if I feel them they have my highest truth or not, I can change them on the inside. I can change the perspective, or I can release the energies or whatever it is. It has nothing to do with what's happening on the outside. And this understanding is now manifesting in your system. So next time you're in a situation where you feel like there is something happening on the outside that you want to change, or that you can't influence but you would like to change, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's in the 3D dimension or it's in another dimension. It doesn't matter where from you perceive it. It does the story. It doesn't matter what kind of story it is. It's all in your system. And this is where you need to look, in the system. And this is where things can be changed or surrendered or understood. It's always in the system. It's never outside. Because this information comes in, manifests in every cell of your body. And then next time when something happens, you will just remember, oh yeah, right, something in my system. It's in there where I need to look, where it is, where the tightness is, where the resistance is, where the fear is, where the anger is. I just need to look inside. And this is where I find the answer. So if the inside is already your main experience, then you only experience that anyways. And if not, you can just connect to that. For example, when you meditate, you sit down, meditate, and focus on that, or you just sit down and focus on that for the sake of understanding that, looking inside. So I see a lot of resistance to that information in the systems. This resistance is now being cleared. It's being cleared. Of course, there's resistance because we mainly learn to navigate around on the outside and fix problems on the outside and do things on the outside, right? So maybe we know this information intellectually, but the system is just so used to do everything on the outside. And now, by basically changing the information, resistance is coming up. So I clear that out of the system. And also when you reach high levels of consciousness, whichever level, the experience of it is always inside. The energetical changes has always to do with your system on the inside. Of course, it's then reflected on the outside, on the consciousness, because this is just a rule of this existence, that life is flowing through inside of the system and is reflecting outside in our consciousness. So that's always going to happen like that. But also, that's why sometimes you may read people say that everything is already in us and it's not somewhere else, and that's very true. Everything is already there. It's basically just about finding it, connecting to it, over and over again until it is our main experience. So, and I always work with the base transmission of the highest truth, right? But right now, the energy that's coming in, or the transmission that's coming in, let's say the highest truth is just very present, or it's very much in the forefront, because usually there is like a lot of information in it. It's the highest truth, but a lot of other information as well. But now the highest truth is like very much in the forefront, and it's really imprinting itself in your system. It actually has a bit of an urgency here. It just wants you to know, it wants you to understand. It wants you to understand, but not intellectually. Of course, the intellect needs to follow, but just wants to help the systems to understand so that they can operate from that place. And it doesn't want you to look for it. It wants you to surrender into it. Just relax into it. Relax into that higher information, because it's there. So you can imagine yourself, for example, you know, when you put butter, a block of butter on an oven and it's melting. And this is what you can do. Just melt into that information. It has nothing to do with intellect. Just melt, 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 melt into that information. And if you tune into your system at the moment, you can really feel how the truth feels so true, even though the intellect doesn't know what it means. how you feel so extremely grounded in that truth. It makes you feel like, let's say, stronger, more grounded and stronger. I'm opening up the energy field again, that it also can work on deeper layers and enter deeper layers. And it's very interesting because this energy came in for me a few hours ago, or that this specifically the highest truth aspect. And it's so extremely strong and transformative that I actually had to have an afternoon nap today. So it's going to do a lot, just that you know, it's going to do a lot for your system. It's like an upgrade. It's the best way to describe it. Upgrading. So what does it mean? It just rewrites the information in your system and replaces it with just a higher information, a higher truth, a higher knowledge. So that you can live from there. And this is how changes are happening. So they're not happening outside. Changes are always happening in the system. In the system, and then it's getting reflected on the outside, changes our actions, changes our way of doing things, way of interacting with people, animals, well, this 3D reality. This is where the changes are happening, always inside. So now I put my attention on your third eye, because this is where the energy is working the most at the moment. So I'm just helping it, that it gains also more access in that area. Again, I clear resistance, because resistance is coming up for receiving this upgrade, but it's just because it's something new. Our system prefers the known. Growth can be exhausting, right, for the system. So it rather, even though we're open for growth, but we rather not grow too fast or too much, because it's too much effort. But this here is for fast growth, fast changes. So I'm going to clear the resistance towards that. Clear it out of your energy field. And this is just very special to this time, that these energies are coming in and this fast growth can happen. Because it's not something usual, you know, it's not something that was there a few years ago. It's here now, and we have the opportunity now. And we all, of course, want to take it. And then the heart needs to play along. So I'm going to work on the heart. So first I put light into your heart chakra. It just helps to open up the heart area, makes it more softer and accessible. So ultimately, yes, the system is protected by fear and energies like that, but the ultimate protection of our systems is in the heart. So this is where the, let's say, the ultimate protection lays. So it's not even the protection of dying. It's just the best way to describe it is a protection of too much and too fast growth, too many changes, feeling uncomfortable if things are just happening, let's just say too fast. But here it's very different. The fast changes are wanted. The system says yes to it. So we just need to let it happen. And it can happen by dropping it, because it's also just like an energetical, it's just an energetical misinformation in the heart chakra. So I clear it. It's not needed. We don't need protection. It's not needed. And it's a misunderstanding. So I cleared out of the heart chakra. I clear the misunderstanding. So heart chakra is always identification. I need protection, I need protection, I need protection in whichever way now, right? So it's whichever way, just in general now. I need protection. I need to protect my system. I need to protect my system. I need to protect my system from various different things. Pain, too much growth, things I don't prefer, sadness, mostly pain. And the pain around, so when we experience fear, there's also pain experience. So that pain as well. The pain that occurs when low vibrational energies are in our systems. We can actually experience low vibrational energies without feeling pain. So we can just perceive the energy as for what it is. For example, okay, an example, we have a sound. So we can hear really high sounds, and then we can hear really low sounds. And that's it. So there's nothing else attached. There is no, oh, I prefer the high sound, or prefer the low sound, or I want to play a different sound. So all of this starts falling away. We just hear the high sound, and then we hear the low sound. And that's it. That's emotions. And now the energy is working more on the heart chakra. So I'm assisting the solar plexus chakra. I'm assisting that. I also put light into the third chakra, just to open it up a little bit more, that the light can enter more. Okay, so the energy is dropping lower. Then I do the same with the sacral chakra. I just basically I open it up a bit more and make it softer, the area softer, so that more light can enter. Then same root chakra. And maybe you can feel the energy dropping down more and down more, and filling up more of your system. And now we have the full acceptance of the system for this higher truth to come in and manifest, and the full acceptance and allowingness, or the allowance of the system. Okay, this is happening and I'm fine with that. So that information is here now. So that's great. So that's basically 100% surrender to a higher truth. So just observe how it feels for you. Even though the energy is very strong, it's working a lot of work is happening in your system. But the system says 100% yes. And this is how it feels when surrender is a permanent part of your beingness. So no matter what's happening, good or bad, positive, negative, whatever, the system always says 100% yes. The mind can say no, the body can say it feels uncomfortable, but the system is 100% there and says yes. And this is now what's manifesting, the deeper surrender. And just know if you feel resistance in any kind of sort, then it's not your system. It's just the part in you. Actually, it's a tiny part. It's somewhere there, just a tiny part. Maybe something from childhood, maybe a misunderstanding. And then you give it too much attention. You believe it. You believe this is the truth, this tiny little particle, basically, versus what we are experiencing at the moment. So surrender is manifesting more, it's manifesting more, it's manifesting more, and allow it. Sink into it like the butter example before. Sink into it, and it will be more of your daily life experience as well after that. So we expand your capacity. Maybe it stays at the 100%, it's possible. Maybe when you get up, it goes back to a certain percentage, but it will definitely be a lot more expanded than it was when we started this meditation or this session. So, and when I say you are in control of your system, what do I mean? If there is 100% surrender, that means if you feel like there are because now the system is in 100% surrender, if there are particles coming up, small things that are basically disturbing that, it's like under your, the best word to just use to understand for understanding reasons is control. It's your control to either buy into that little part or see what's the bigger picture, see what's there, see that this big surrender or this 100% surrender is there. So what do you identify with? What do you buy into? This is what basically is under your control. And with this 100% surrender, there is also at the same time there 100% saying yes to life. Tune into it and see for yourself how it feels like, how it feels. It's so natural. It's there all the time. And it feels great. I'm just going to clear a few energies out of the mind. If there are like still thoughts for you there, if not, that's totally fine. If there are still thoughts for you there, I'm just going to remove the charge basically of those so that you can sink into the experience more. Sink into the experience more. This is really all happening beyond the mind, like the mind has no clue what's happening here. So this is why we don't need it. The higher truth is just something the mind cannot grasp at all. It's not possible. It can only be felt and experienced. And then when the system adapts that, and it becomes part of you, it's just where you live from, where you come from. And the energy comes up of a grasping, the grasping for something higher, for a higher truth, for the divine, for just a grasping. So I'm clearing that. Don't need grasping. Because it's here. It's now here. So it's just a misunderstanding of the system, and it just comes up so that we will clear it, right? It's all here right now. So there's no need for grasping or wanting to be somewhere else or having different experiences compared to what you have at the moment. We don't need that. So it's all happening here and now. That's what you get, and this is what you need. Yes, and we need acceptance. The system needs acceptance for that, because the human system works a bit different, because it always thinks, oh, needs to be more or different, or it can't be what I already feel. It can't be what's already there. It must be somewhere else. So we clear that, and more acceptance comes in for the information. And it's all about that you are exactly where you need to be right now. And it's exactly the same when you get up from this meditation and then go into your everyday life and live your everyday life. You're exactly where you need to be in the moment where you are. This information also comes in. It's manifesting. because you can move forward and you can grow with that information in your system. And this is basically the way to go. So with a fully surrendered system and fully being present in the present moment, accepting the present moment 100%, but at the same time, moving forward and expanding. That's how it works. Again, with the mind, to understand it with the mind is quite tricky, because the mind thinks, oh, but if I want to move forward, I need to want something, or I need to have an aim. Yes, but if you're fully in the present moment or fully surrendered, the aim is happening in the present moment. It's not happening anywhere else. So also the planning for something, for example, or the wanting to move forward, the wanting to have certain experiences, doesn't matter spiritual or not. I don't know, have a family, have a bigger business, spiritual awakening, whatever it is. It all is happening in the present moment. It never happens anywhere else. So everything is happening here and now. It can't happen anywhere else. And this is what the system needs to understand, or is now understanding with this session. It's gaining the understanding. And now the energy is even moving us more inward, even more inward. It draws us more inward, even a bit more, always a bit more. And it's quite funny. If I ask you to perceive the outside now, it's probably not possible. It shouldn't be possible, because you're drawn inward so much that it's like not even possible to put your attention outside. You can just try it, just to give it a little try. So allow yourself to sink in more, sink in more, sink in more, sink in more. This is basically manifesting also that information, or integrating it in your system. It's integrating it in your system. So now the energy will show you, because maybe the question is there, okay, what's my personal highest truth? I mean, it's a way of living, it's a way of perceiving life. But if the system still needs some information to surrender to that even more, just to that understanding, so the system, not specifically the mind, but the mind is of course part of it, then the system can show you now. I will let you know when. Either it's going to be a feeling, a certain space, just like information. It can manifest in multiple different ways. So we'll open up that space for a few minutes, just that the energy of the highest truth can show you what's still missing for you, for your system, to have more access and eventually fully access. Okay, I open up the space now. And let's just sit with it for a few minutes. And today it's enough that it's just being revealed to you. So if it's something that's in the way, it's just going to get burned by this extremely strong energy. And if it's something that you need more of, it will get expanded. If it's an understanding, it will come, either it's there already or will come forward later on, when you get up from the meditation. And now basically your system has more space because something was able to be revealed, was able to go, was able to be seen, was able to be felt. More light can enter. So there is a lot more of this energy like coming in. It's like it wants to come in. It's actually like pushing itself in. So it's on a mission here. And this energy basically says that this is the most effortless way how changes can occur in your system. So you don't need to go through painful experiences or crazy experiences or whatever emotional craziness. This is the most effortless way change can occur, by sitting and allowing and surrendering into it. And these changes are going to happen, or they're coming in for everybody, really. So of course, if the system is very closed and the ego is very strong, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough, or it can be. No, it's going to be really tough. But when the system is open, the identification is already like broken down or thinned out, so much easier, so effortless. So I guess we're all really lucky here. So basically what I get, the higher truth is just now coming in and it can't be stopped. So for the collective now as well. And we will just see the manifestation of that over the next few weeks or months. But we already know how to approach these things because our systems are ready, or they're already there. They are already there, or on the best way there, at least the fastest. And I also want to let you go with a little bit of uplifting energies, because this, like, you know, that these transformational energies, they are very powerful, but they want a lot from us, you know. A lot of changes are occurring. So I'm just gonna end the session with bringing in some high vibrational energies just to lift the system. Not that it wasn't lifted before, but it's just a lot has happened. And just to, yeah, give us a good, nice feeling. So I fill up your system with high vibrational healing energies: love, light, truth, trust, joy, abundance, and health. Okay. Welcome back. So that was very different today.